The African Center for Media and Information Literacy, AFRICMIL, on Thursday, January 30, 2020, began another round of engagement on creating awareness on the whistleblowing policy. The fresh round of nationwide engagement involves the training of community-based organizations and local civil society organizations on how they can use the whistleblowing to report corruption at the grassroots. The campaign, which commenced with a capacity building workshop for CBOs and CSOs in Cross River and Akwa-Ibom states, is part of AFRICMIL's Corruption Anonymous CORA project, which is supported by the MacArthur Foundation. Dr. Chido Onumah, coordinator of AFRICMIL, said that Nigerians should hold their leaders accountable at every level. He noted that the mobilization of CBOs was meant to help them monitor constituency projects and tackle corruption in their communities. Onumah said the fight against corruption should not be left for the government alone, adding that every citizen had a role to play in making whistleblowing an effective tool in the fight against corruption.
We encourage many institutions, including universities, colleges, and so on. And whistleblowing is not about financial malfeasance. At the end of the day, it could be so many other things, maybe in schools where students are harassed by lecturers and so on. The important thing is to create an environment where people can report and their reports are protected. Nobody knows who is providing the report, and if they do eventually get to know that such people are also protected.
In his presentation, Abdulaziz, AFRICMIL's program manager, said corruption was directly responsible for poverty and deprivation, underdevelopment, economic stagnation, insecurity, and the rise in social vices. He urged the CBOs and CSOs to educate the people in their various communities on whistleblowing and how they can deploy it in the fight against corruption.
A lot of times Nigerians have a carefree attitude to corruption, but why we should care is because it is our money. That money that he stole to build that mansion or to build that big hotel or to invest or to even take it out of the country, it's some money that should have been used to fund the education of your children. It's money that should have been used to fund our healthcare system. So we should care, it's our money.
Explaining the role of government and the place of citizens in the anti-corruption war, the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, represented by Mrs. Teresa Nwosu, head Public Affairs Department in the Uyo office of the Commission, said corruption has defied every solution thrown at it and is spreading like cancer. Nigerians must come to the realization that they are the ones that suffer more if it is allowed to continue to fester.
It becomes disturbing when you hear right-thinking Nigerians actually believing that the fight against corruption is an EFCC thing. Yes, the EFCC is bound to investigate, arrest, prosecute, but we need this information. You can't do anything with that information. Get the information and bring it to us.
Similarly, the chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, who was represented by Mr. Lawrence Abuo, stated that the ICPC has been able to launch a nationwide community enlightenment initiative called My Constituency, My Project, and has saved up to 2 billion naira in recovery of diverted projects.
You are all from various constituencies, various areas. You will discover that from your own community, through the appropriation, you discover that there is supposed to be a project in your village. Maybe your rep comes in and announce that this project is coming. After 4 years, nothing. What do? God, quietly, I will follow it.
Mrs. Florence Osang, the Cross River State Director, National Orientation Agency (NOA), urged Nigerians to have a change of attitude so as to ensure the success of the anti-corruption war.
So, for you to maintain the fight against corruption, you must first be determined by yourself. By you sitting here, not just waiting for another person. If you are determined, you cannot say, is it only me who will come and change Nigeria? That's it.
Participants at the event also expressed their views on the whistleblowing policy.
In the fight against corruption. See, the politicians, which you've rightly mentioned, are part of the problem. Now, I don't think there's a law and there's a policy EFCC can push at the ICPC, directly or indirectly, to make political offices insensitive in terms of finance. There's so much of financial attraction at the center, so that every person in the small offices will be wondering how a politician who is very poor, tomorrow he holds a public office and is driving a limousine.
The Ikoyi fund that you mentioned, the EFCC recover, who is standing trial for it? I know somebody came and said he knows about that money. Invite me, I'm going to say something. EFCC refused. What's happening?
The utilization of the recovered funds. What has it been used for? Because the people are asking so many questions on that issue. I think the government should set up particular projects to say this money recovered, this is what it is used for, this is what it is used for, this is what it is used for, so that we'll have confidence, so that let it not be robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right. Sometimes ago I was in a program in Port Harcourt, Hotel Presidential, where we had full lights. Because if it had happened in any other place, they would have had taken lights. The executive secretary of RED came on air and said outrightly that estimated billing is illegal. But up till today, estimated billing is still floating.
The SCPC, FCC, CCB, they've all mentioned about whistleblowing, and that there is yet to be a national policy on whistleblowing. What is observed here is that we just take here, add here, take there, and add there. Without a policy, it will be very difficult to drive this whistleblowing. There should be a national policy. We should be conscious of what we are doing, not a little here or a little there.
My question is very simple and straightforward. Is this fight against the rich or the poor?
As an accountant or as an administrator, no single individual can sign a check for himself. There are processes through which payments or funds are transferred from one account to the other. Now, for an individual who is an insider, you took part in that process and you blow the whistle, and eventually you are, when investigation is done, is discovered you also took part in that process. What provisions are there to protect you, to exonerate you from, in quote, conspiracy in that crime?